Now, sometimes it is pretty difficult in choosing what model you want to choose for a particular task. Again, we've talked about how there's differences between different models. Some models cost a lot and are very high latency, but produce better results. So depending on your task, it's important to choose the right model. And what I want to go through in this video is that this platform helps you choose the right model for your task. Because what you can do here is let's choose, a random model like 3.5 turbo. Okay. Let's get rid of this company description here and just say generate a slogan for the following company. I'll just put it right here. I won't even apply a variable. I'll just put it right here. Ice cream company. Okay. And I get this as the answer. Great. Now I can change this to 40 mini, click run, see what the answer is, and so on and so forth. I can go to Claude, click run, and then I'll see what the answer is. Claude provides me a lot more answers. So again, different answers here. But I can do this all simultaneously, which makes this a lot easier. Okay, so if I go over here and click debug as multiple models, it basically produces these types of things here, basically different sections for me to see the outputs of different models. Okay, so let me add this one. So the first one is GPT-4o mini. Let's make the second model here, GPT 3.5 turbo, which again is a lot. It might not be a lot cheaper, but it's a different model at least. And let me add one more model, which is the Claude one. Okay, Claude 3 Sonnet. Let me do 3.5 Sonnet. Let's choose the more recent one. Perfect. Okay, fantastic. All right, now what I can do is I can just put in a prompt, click run, and I can see all the outputs in one. And I can see which one I like the most. And this is helpful because I can also see the latency as well. You can see that Claude 3.5 was very fast, but it started, but then it ended late. 3.5 was the fastest, and then 4.0 mini was kind of the slowest here. So you can also see the latency as well, and see kind of how long it took too. Now in this case, all of them are pretty good. Claude 3.5 clearly generated more, so we probably need to adjust our prompt. If we use Claude 3.5, we can say generate one slogan, and probably that's going to be better. Let's see if it is. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay, now for something like this, it's pretty pretty mundane, but let me find a more complex. So let's see. This is something that's a little bit more complex. This mathematical question here. So let me click run on that and see how it does with that. Okay, so it all got the right answer. Yeah, so actually it all got the right answer. So that's pretty good. GPT 3.5 is actually a lot better than what I give it credit for. Let's try something like this, which is a more creative task, where the 3-paragraph story where each paragraph is in a different genre. Okay? Okay, so this is interesting. For some reason, OpenAI, GPT-4o and Mini and GPT 3.5 for Turbo doesn't like doing this. It says, I apologize for any confusion, but I'm an AI assistant to be helpful, harmless, and honest. Clearly, I didn't ask it for anything that's harmful or dishonest. I mean, ask it to come up with a story, but that's fine. But in this case, Claude 3.5 worked. So this is a great example to showcase that using a tool like this to see the same input with different outputs for different models, it's very important because now I know if my solution requires some sort of making up a story, now I probably don't want to use 3.5 and 4.0 mini. Instead, I'd want to use 3.5 Sonnet instead. So that's very good to understand. And this way you can do 4 models at once. And the cool part about this too is you can also adjust the hyperparameters or the parameters of the model as well, which we'll talk about in a separate video.